Miki. I'm Amy, and I make videos about Latin and language learning, among other things. And today I'm going to talk about the English phrase, "it's Greek to me," and where that comes from, perhaps. So it seems to come from medieval scribes. So when the scribes are copying manuscripts, they would be familiar with Latin, but they wouldn't always be familiar with Greek. So they would put in the margin, "Gregum est, non legitor." And also when I'm translating modern documents from German into English, I sometimes have to do things that have other languages and languages I don't know. So I'll be translating German into English, and there is something written in like Arabic or Chinese there, and if it's a certified or notarized translation, I have to make a note that something is written there. You can just like leave things out. So I would put, text in Arabic, or text in, Japanese, text in Korean, and so on. So the scribes would just, write that there's some Greek stuff here, just to note that there was writing there. They just didn't know what it meant. Also, I've done a lot of medical documents, and a lot of the words there are in Latin, which is why medical schools at least used to require Latin or Greek. But I think this is diminishing in recent years. I've even read that it's diminishing when it comes to people taking classical studies, which is amazing to me. Names of bones and things, if you, think back to, maybe your biology classes in school and such. Yorick secundus here. And there's, Latin terms like the foramen magnum, which is funny if you know Latin, because it just means it's a big hole. The big hole where your spinal cord goes in. But there are a lot of words for, other bones and for internal organs, medical and scientific terms that come from Latin. So a knowledge of Latin would be useful for anyone in any sort of field relating to medicine or science, or people working with them. And of course, Latin and Greek can improve your vocabulary in any of the languages which came later on, or in the same language families, and improve your understanding of language and grammar in general, which I found very useful as well. And Latin's also important, of course, in law and in philosophy. You make up your own heavy metal lyrics, and make it sound scary and whatever. But Wikipedia was saying, Latin is the language used by, holy men, such as Catholic priests, faith healers, owners of talismans. I think it actually said that. So the scribes were just basically saying, well, I don't understand Greek, but there's some Greek stuff there, so I'm telling you that it's there. Just making a note of it. Whereas, as it's come into English, it could be used for whatever, anything you don't understand. They could be speaking Chinese or speaking, just in terminology you don't understand, and somebody could say it's Greek to them. But apparently, many people make reference to Shakespeare's Julius Caesar, where Casca couldn't explain to Cassius what Cicero was saying because he was speaking Greek. Also in Afrikaans and Portuguese and Swedish, they also say that it's Greek. However, Arnold L. Rosenberg apparently published an article saying that there was a popular consensus that Chinese was the hardest language. And this is why quite a few other languages say that it's Chinese to me rather than saying it's Greek to me, even though it means the same thing. And also in several languages, they'll have more than one way of saying this. German apparently has "Das kommt mir Spanish vor," which it sounds like Spanish to me. Spreche ich Chinesisch? Am I speaking Chinese? And it's also referred to as Fachchinesisch, which is more like specialized Chinese, highly technical Chinese. My favorite is Polnisch rückwärts, Polish being spoken backwards. And in some languages, there are things like "Das sind böhmische Dörfer für mich," these are Bohemian villages to me, meaning it sounds like the name of some sort of village elsewhere. In Slovak, they talk about Spanish villages. In Danish, they talk about, this is a town in Russia. Some of the languages who say it sounds like Chinese include Albanian, Arabic, Asturian, Dutch, Estonian, French, Greek, Hebrew, Hungarian, Norwegian, Polish, and Russian. Though it is funny to note that, the Greeks see it as Chinese. That the Greeks see it as Chinese. Languages they don't understand, because of course they can't say it's Greek to me because they don't understand the Greek. No, in Macedonian, German, Croatian, and Danish say that it sounds like, a foreign village or city. And then some languages like Mandarin talk about, Martian writing, or alien writing. German also has Ich verstehe nur Bahnhof, meaning that all I understand is train station. Wolete Miki.